Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here from Hampton, Iowa. It looks like I have a halo over my head, doesn't it? We are here on Pat's on Periscope. We're going to try this for a couple of Monday nights and see how this works out for us. I'm Pat Palmer, the computer guy from Hampton, Iowa, and we're going to talk a little bit about tonight's event, our maiden voyage, you might say, and a little bit about why it might be so bright in here, and a couple other things. So again, tonight we're kind of on our maiden voyage of the Periscope event tonight. I'm going to turn this just a little bit so we can stay out of the light a little bit. Anyway, tonight is about 15 minutes or so. The purpose is to really start a discussion about tech, social media, things that are going on in around our area, and every once in a while it seems like I get a phone call, so that of course jeopardizes the broadcast, because I got these 5 tips for Periscope downloaded, and one says just put it into airplane mode. Airplane mode also takes care of the Wi-Fi, so you can't put it in airplane mode, and with about 3 minutes to broadcast time this afternoon, or this evening, I didn't really have time to monkey around with it. So the phone may ring once in a while, Hershey may come around once in a while, so those are just things we're going to have to put up with. I was going to use my tablet, but we're not to the landscape thing yet, and I was going to end up being broadcast sideways, and I didn't really want that. So that's a little bit about that. Why do this? Again, we're talking about a show I'm going to start. It's pretty much going to be YouTube based, called Random Access. And that's going to hopefully start sometime in July. We're talk to some folks about tech. We're going to talk social. I've got a couple things with a few radio stations lined up on how they're handling social media. It's kind of a different ballgame now than when I was back in radio 15 years ago or so, and I was in radio for about 17 years. So things are just done a little different now on the broadcast medium, and also they're using a lot of radio stations now are using Periscope to broadcast with things, because they're adding value to that. So you sign up for a broadcast, it costs you X amount of dollars. If you can stream that live, then that adds value to the broadcast. So more people may see it if it's put on a social media. If you can save the broadcast and rebroadcast that later, of course, that would help as well. As I promised, I was going to have a few tips for today, and that's, again, is what I'm planning on doing. One thing I see a lot of, I don't like it, and it's some of it's preventable, some of it's not. It's when someone says, Pat, my hard drive crashed. And so tonight, overnight, when I do a little work, I've got to replace 2 laptop hard drives because they failed. And luckily on these I can get the data back. Sometimes we're not as successful at that. I recommend everybody get themselves a data backup external hard drive. It's not that they're not that expensive. When we're talking losing baby pictures or wedding pictures or first communion pictures or whatnot, we're talking about losing quite a few things. And so why not just once in a while, once in a week, once in a month, back things up to an external hard drive, or to the cloud if you want. There are different services there as well too. If you go to my website, thecomputerguy.bz, under products and services, I do have several backup solutions there, so you can use one of those as well. Again, for the folks who are just arriving, this is my weekly show on Monday nights called Pat's on Periscope, and it is a little blurb of what to expect from a bigger show we're going to be doing called Random Access. It's going to be at randomaccess.bz. So if you go to randomaccess.bz, that feeds into my YouTube page for now, but it will be feeding into a different web page later on. So purpose is to set the stage for that, and just to use the new mode of social media, you might say, and try this out and see how this works for folks. Again, back up your stuff. It's very important to do that. And I said I was going to cover tech, I was going to cover social, and I was going to cover some hoaxes. And that's kind of what we're talking about on Random Access too. Is we're going to be promoting some things in North Iowa, socially, technologically related, and also we're going to dispel some hoaxes. So that's what we're going to be doing. I did copy this sheet called 5 Tips for Periscope from @Genergy, and it looks about like this with my show notes on it. 5 tips for Periscope. It says, put your phone in airplane mode or do not disturb before you start the broadcast. Well, you can't put it in airplane mode because even if you're on your home network, that mutes out the Wi-Fi as well. And really, there's a lot of people doing a lot of periscoping out and about, and I'm hoping that they have unlimited data or a big data plan, because if they don't, that's going to really get costly after a few months, because again, this is probably going to be a little bit addictive with the Periscope. Promote your Periscope ID and your broadcasts when you are on Twitter, on Facebook, or any social media channel. Follow me on Periscope and then give your @sign. Mine is @YanksPat, YANKZPAT. Of course, you know that because you're here. They say use hashtags in your title. I didn't do that tonight, but that's the hashtag, of course, is the big thing now. And so I was asked the other day, what hashtags are you following? None. So anyway, I kind of just search with Google right now, and that's where I'm at. When you start the broadcast, you can save a copy of this broadcast to your phone in your camera roll area. And so you definitely want to save that, because then you can promote it later and reshare it, and then you can upload it to Facebook, you upload it to YouTube. Again, I'm going against my religion here on the up and down and the horizontal and the vertical video. I hate vertical video like this is, and when it gets posted on Facebook, or on YouTube, it looks terrible because it just fills in one little part of the screen. If I ever rebroadcast these to YouTube, I think I will put some sort of a banner or some sort of thing on each side of the broadcast. See, I'm even running out of room here. If it was on landscape, I could wave my arms. You would see my arms way out here. But I'm on vertical video, and that's kind of how it is. One other key is start talking as soon as you start broadcasting. You can always go back and re-summarize. And I know that I did watch a YouTube or a Periscope video earlier, and she was saying hi to all the folks that were joining in, and that was kind of cute. And but anyway, I do appreciate like hi JREM44, they're here, but that gets kind of old after a while. Maybe if it's your crowd that is here, say hi to everybody if you want. But I just hope that it doesn't. Hi, Chad. I just hope it doesn't take away from your broadcast. If you're covering something that's really something to be covered, that's noteworthy, and right in the middle of it, you're in a serious point, you go, hi Joe 69, one of those things. So it's one of those deals where you can say hi to everybody if you want. It's your audience, you do what you want. It's your Periscope, do what you want. But anyway, start talking as soon as the broadcast begins. One other thing I hope they do before this is when you start broadcasting, it starts like that, then you have to slide the thing down and hit the camera reversal. And maybe I'm not keen on that yet, but anyway, that's why you saw a pretty bright light when we started. It was because I have a bright light in here, and you saw that going that way instead of me coming back at you. So I wish they would have the camera reversal on a set switch sooner than when you start broadcasting. That would be very, very helpful. Again, if you just joined us, this is Pat's on Periscope. We're going to do this every Monday night from about 8 to about 8:15 or so. And we just want to get people used to a new show we're going to start called Random Access. And you can find it at Random Access BZ. Right now it just goes into our YouTube feed, and then we're going to go with a special website after that. and that is a little bit about why I'm doing this. Chad had brought up earlier about the Microsoft calls. They're still going around, mostly targeting people that have telephones. So you may have a grandma or grandpa, aunt, uncle, mom and dad, something like that, that haven't cut the cord completely. They still have a landline, and those people are being put on auto dial. I got a call the other day that I didn't even say hi, and the guy says, "Oh, I believe I got the wrong number. I'm very sorry." Well, it was a recording to test that your line was active, that you had an active phone number. It didn't go to this number has been deleted, or this number is no longer in service, or something like that. So they're testing those calls to make sure that there is a human hello on the other end of the line. So eventually you may get telemarketing calls, you may get those Microsoft calls. If you get one of them, just hang up on them. Do not go to the bank. Do not give them money. Do not go to Western Union and say, I want to send a MoneyGram for $500. Those are all hoaxes. I liken it to the fact that does the doctor call you when you're sick? No, the doctor doesn't say, "Hello, Pat, I think you're sick today. Why don't you come on in and spend a couple $100 with us?" No, he doesn't do that, or she doesn't do that. You go to the doctor when you're sick. You take the computer to the computer guy when it is sick. And that's what the basic premise is, but we've got a lot of people out there that aren't getting that yet. So if you've got an older relative, aunt, uncle, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, share with them that if somebody calls and says your computer has a virus, and it's usually not really it's not in a Midwestern accent like from Iowa or Minnesota or a Midwestern state, it's usually from a foreign country. So those people are very hard to understand. They'd make a lot more money if they employed somebody like me to start calling people and say, your computer is infected. Why don't you give me $450 and we'll get that fixed for you? And that may help out. But at this point in time, it's all a hoax. It's all a prank. They're doing the same thing with electric companies, are calling businesses and saying, we need a payment or we're going to shut your electricity off. They don't. Normal electric companies don't do that. They send you other means. And so don't be fooled into some of those things. That's a big hoax that's out there right now, is people are being fooled into doing some of that. Again, now we're on Pat's on Periscope. It's going to be a Monday night feature for the next several weeks in preparation for a new show coming up called Random Access that will be recorded. I'm hoping to release those on Monday along with the Monday morning memo. And of course, you can go to the Facebook page at Pat the Computer Guy and sign up for the Monday morning memo, or read through my Facebook page and see what's going on. I do promote a lot of hoaxes and give a lot of tips and do a lot of things like that. So anyway, we are just about at the 15-minute mark right now, and so I do want to thank everyone for stopping by tonight to watch Pat's on Periscope. We'll see you next Monday night.